couple of our other guests that we actually absolutely love and are big beauties are Tim Hunter and Gino Odjick. Can you give us a story about those two?
Well, two extremely tough dudes and guys that you love to have on your team. And, Hunt's is a wily veteran. Hunt's fought all the big guys. Hunt's wasn't as big as everybody thought. He's a big guy, but he's not in that, I want to say, super heavyweight or heavyweight. He was kind of like I want to say a light heavyweight. I think he was only 190 pounds, maybe 195, where Gino was over the 200 and took on the real big heavyweights. But listen, Hunt's made a living when he was in Calgary fighting Semenko, every other night. He was just a competitor. He was fit as a fiddle. So maybe that, and strong as an ox, obviously. Very technical fighter. A guy you look for. He knew his role very well. He knew what he had to do when he went out there, whether it would be a big hit or something, a face wash, into the goalie's face, or just verbally abuse somebody out there, or the bench when he was out there.
Him and Ryan had a nose competition.
Oh yeah, we
did they? Well, he swears to God he's never broken that nose.
I definitely have.
Which is hard to believe, but yeah, and then of course Gino, what he brought to the team as well was some more muscle and then he hits it off with Pavel, and which was probably the best thing for him, because Gino turned into a pretty good hockey player after Pavel took him under his wing as far as the hockey part of it, and he had a couple of good years there point wise, and really worked on his skill level and his hockey sense, and it wasn't just a liability out there, and they were both like that. They were both knowledgeable in the game. Hunt's was almost like a player coach, a great leader in the locker room. And obviously, leader out on the ice. He led by example, that's for sure. And he certainly wasn't he wasn't shy at speaking his mind either.
And Gino needs to be in the ring.
Yes, why not? He's certainly has the qualification for sure. There's I don't know how they.
But what he means to the city.
Yeah, I don't know how they picked that. There is a panel.
Just like you could be retired is by throwing that out there.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, but that's more ownership. I think that's their choice when they want to do stuff like that. But for the ring, there is a board or a committee that decides on that. I understand.
A good Hunt story. We got I'm not sure if you were part of that game, but I think you were. I guess Rob Ray was running Bure the whole game. And finally, at the end, Bure had enough of it. And he kind of said, leave me alone, man, get off me or whatever. And so Hunt stepped on and said, Rob Ray, come on, let's not do this right now. So I guess they started going and they get tossed. Well, Hunter's smart. He leaves and he hides behind the black screen of the Buffalo Sabres. Well, when he walks down Rob Ray, Hunter said he hit him so fucking hard. He put him on the ground and they started rolling under the bleachers. And no one knew they were fighting, but they're all under the stands.
I do remember that. Go ahead.
And he said, obviously, the late Pat Quinn is the only reason they broke it up, because he said he felt these mitts on his shoulder, and he looks up, and Pat goes, "That's enough, boys," and they just split up.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. Now they speak of it, but I never had a real chance to, get firsthand of all these different altercations or what was being said over here, because I was at the other end. So I never would really hear about it until maybe afterwards. But I do remember that now that you brought that up, and Hunt's.
We were just saying how that was
sneaky.
Never happen.
He was sneaky. Oh, you could never do it now. Because everything's separated and there's security guards everywhere.
What they would call it police.
Gosh, yeah, and there's cameras everywhere down the corridors everywhere. Probably, I mean, the cops would be involved. They would probably charge one of the guys for assault. Who knows?
Yeah.
What would go on.
So upon retirement, you came back to coach goalie coaching Kamloops. Did you know it was time to hang him up?
Yeah. You know what? It's pretty tough. In all honesty, I wanted to come back for one more year here in Vancouver and kind of mentor Klutch at the time. But, Berkey was the GM, and, he didn't feel that was needed. And so I said, listen, I've had my adventure elsewhere, and I'm not just going to hang on for the sake of hanging on. I don't want to go over to Europe and play over there. So, I'll pack it in.
You did mentor Kluche though in the Rangers, so you got a little bit of mentoring over there.
No, he'd left the Rangers by that time. Yeah, he was down in Tampa.
Oh, stat guy.
Get your stats right, man. Come on.
Stat guy.
And then I know you started being a part owner of the Express. Are you still part of that or no?
No, I've been out of that for quite a long time. There was a few of us. There was myself, Billy Ranford, Dave Lowry, Darcy. We were kind of and Cliffy once upon a time when they were over in Port Alberni before they moved over here. We had a good time with it. We won the RBC Cup one year. We had Kyle Turris and David Jones and
Lucic,
Brendan Yip, and no, Luch had left. No. He jumped ship and went to the Giants.
Okay.
That year. So it was fun. I think we should have got out of it then. Maybe sold the team when we were at the top. We weren't in it to make any dough. That's for sure. It was obviously giving back to the community and trying to provide for these young players to strive for their dream, whether it be playing in the NHL or getting a scholarship and a full ride for their education.
What were your thoughts on making the Ring of Honor?
Well, I was quite honored. I remember when I was told, and I was a little taken back, and being the second one picked, Orland Kurtenbach being the first one picked, it was quite a nice feeling. And it was Gillis was the GM at the time, and he pulled me aside and to let me know, and I was very thankful for that moment.
Yeah, we were happy to see you up there, obviously.
Yeah, it was a great evening, and not as long as the ceremonies that they've had in the past with Burr and Ole and those guys. They had little speaking parts that we didn't have. That they just kind of trucked us out there, dropped the puck, presented us with a painting, and that was it.
Yeah, how things change over the years.
Oh, I know. Now it's got to be a production now for everything, right? They got to make it. It's a whole fan experience.
It's good for season ticket holders. I enjoy that.
That's right. Yeah, no, they're fun to watch.
Okay, so I got a new question I've been adding to the repertoire lately. If you could win $1,000 in a karaoke contest, what song are you singing?
Oh God. I have no idea. I love music. All genres. I don't know if I could pick one.
Come on, you don't sing in the shower, Kirk?
I sing all the time. At least I think I do. I try to sing, but I don't know. Gosh, I always, for some reason, "Take It Easy" by the Eagles always comes to mind. It's a good song. So maybe that would be the one.
Hey, Mike, shoot him with the that stat we came out with today.
I don't have it. You had it.
I got it. So today in 1991, Sportsnet put this out today. You were the first goalie ever to shout out the Montreal Canadiens.
For Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know it was today, but I knew that, and I remember that game well.
Yeah.
It was in the Montreal Forum. It'd be right up there with the whole '94 run and all those games and all that. It's got to be right up there as one of the best games.
It was a 3-0 shutout, right?
It was 3-0 shutout. Greg Adams scored all 3 goals.
Yeah.
I got first star. He got second star. And what the cool thing about it was, it still sends some tingles down my spine, is I ended up getting a standing ovation from the crowd in Montreal. And that was damn cool. For them to be able to do that and appreciate a player for a performance. Goes to show you that they're great fans. Obviously, they're very hockey knowledgeable, and it brings a smile to my face to this day. I hated Montreal growing up because I was a Leaf fan, right? And
you had to
have that happen and to be able to do that was pretty cool.
That would be a special moment for sure.
Yeah. And I think it was close to 50 shots too, so it wasn't an easy 3-0.
I might have just stole Mike's question, but do you have any pregame rituals or meals that you like to eat?
I pretty basic, no rituals. I some superstitions. I would be a chicken and pasta. Maybe a little soup before, but that was about it. Depending on how it was going, if I was on a little run, I would. If I was, I'd always dress left to right. So left skate first, right skate, that way all the way up to get my mask on. And, I was never one to drive the same route to the rink or, park in the same parking spot, any of that kind of stuff. Or, I would maybe do a couple little things in the locker room before skating out onto the ice. And that was about it.
The weirdest one we ever had is he's a WHL player, and he's going to be an NHL player. The kid's a stud, plays for the Ice. He puts his right leg pad on his left on his right. He's played like that since as a kid, and he's stuck with it.
Really?
Yeah, like that is weird.
That is really weird.
Not a goalie. Sorry, he's a player.
Oh, okay.
But still.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of guys. I always say, goalies get that, that weirdness thing put label, and I tell you what, only because there's less of us, that's why you stand out a little bit more. Players can hide a little bit because there's more of them, but my God, there's some freaking weird players out there, and there's some players that do some funky stuff and have some weird superstitions that
you don't have to tell it. You don't have to tell us what a player did.
It carries their lives. I mean, I think probably to this day they still have this, and it's like it's a tough way to live when you're worrying about doing this because you think you're going to have bad luck all the time.
Who would you say the weirdest teammate was? You don't have to tell us what they did, but who was the weirdest teammate?
Well, the most, not the weirdest, but the most superstitious was Cliffy Ronning by far, or maybe John McIntyre.
Wow,
John McIntyre. Those two could battle it out for the superstitions. I mean, they had multiple things, and it was unbelievable.
Okay.
Like they wouldn't move until they did their things, and if they didn't do it right, they'd do it again, and we'd be waiting for them to go out on the ice because they had to get these little things done.
Hey, Captain Kirk, we can't thank you enough for taking the time for us today and coming on and chatting with us. We've been huge fans of yours forever, obviously, and every time we meet you, you're the biggest beauty off the ice.